Yo, what is up guys, Grim here, and in today's video we're going over my massive Gilded Scarab test, and oh man did we make a ton of money off these things. They are completely insane. So what am I talking about here? Well, we did 100 strand maps with 100 Gilded Legion and 100 Gilded Metamorph Scarabs. And we did that so that we could understand how much money you can expect to make off of these Scarabs now and any time in the future. So, what was the test? The test was to count exactly how many league-specific guaranteed rewards you can get from each of these Scarabs. So what am I talking about here? I'm talking about Legion Splinters that you're guaranteed to get every single Legion, and Legion Incubators which are guaranteed to drop every single Legion as well. For Metamorph, I'm talking only Catalysts which are absolutely guaranteed to show up on every single Metamorph, and you can see here that's all we're counting. And the question is, will this pay back the cost of the Scarab completely? And oh man, did it pay it back. Alright, so let's get into the Scarabs, and I want to kind of explain how these are different to their rusted counterparts. So, let's start off with Gilded Legion. So normal Legion Scarabs, just add a traditional Legion to your map. You know, the normal pylon, you can click it, it'll poof, you know, all the good stuff like that. You'll get some splinters, all that good stuff. So Gilded Legion though adds an additional warhorde for both of the factions. So each Legion is made up of 2 factions, there's 5 total. And what the Gilded Legion Scarab says is that you get a warhorde of both. Now these warhordes generally contain either currency rewards, you know, Legion specific rewards, which are like stuff like incubators or like stacks of splinters, and just a lot of really good items. So that's already very good, and it's going to be a lot more loot. But what we're really interested in is the splinters that have a 100% chance to drop from these warhordes. So let's say you got a Maraketh and a Templar spawn on your Legion. Well, you'll get a guaranteed warhorde of each, and those warhordes drop anywhere between 3 to 6 splinters from my kind of observations. So it's definitely a lot of currency if you can get the good ones on these Legion Scarabs. So very, very cool. Now, what else do you get? You also get a general of each of the factions guaranteed. Now, these generals, they pop up at each side of the Legion, and you get some visual indicators on the actual Legion pylon himself on where they are. So definitely check those out, they're pretty cool. But these kind of generals, they drop anywhere between 6 to 10 splinters, maybe even a little bit more sometimes, of their faction. So if you get, you know, you've got a warhorde, which is guaranteeing 3 to 6, and you've got like a general now, which is guaranteeing like 6 to 10. So you're getting anywhere between like 12 to 20 splinters guaranteed of each faction in that Legion, which is completely insane if you like get a Templar or a Maraketh. Now, what actually really pushes this over the top is that these are straight up additional. So I've had Legions where, you know, it's rolled Warhorde naturally, and then I get the Warhordes on top of that. So sometimes you can end up with like 2 or 3 Maraketh Warhordes and the General, and you just rake in like 30 or 40 splinters of Maraketh, which is completely insane. Very, very powerful. Now, one thing that really tips Legion over the edge, though, is the fact that there is natural Legion spawns. So I think it's a 5 or 10% chance in every map you run to get a Legion to spawn. And Gilded Legion Scarabs don't just apply their bonuses to their own Legion pylon that they put in the map, they apply it to all of them. So you're essentially getting that Warhorde and General bonus for every pylon in the map, meaning it's completely crazy. If you're watching this in a future league and the Zana map device has Legion, this will multiply that. If you get the Sextant, it'll multiply that too, which makes Legion Scarabs, the Gilded variety, completely insane. Completely insane. Alright, so that's the Legion Scarabs. Let's talk Metamorph. So the traditional Metamorph Scarabs, just, you know, they add a Metamorph to the map. It's the lead mechanic, you know, no worries. What is the difference between the Gilded ones? So the Gilded ones add a ton of additional samples. Specifically, it gives you double of whatever sample that you were going to get. Now, these samples are very, very powerful. You can get a ton of loot from them by taking them to Tane's lab. Now, for the purpose of this test, though, we couldn't include them because they are random-based loot. We're looking for consistency here, and that means that they're going to be excluded, but you can expect to make a ton more money just off having the double samples. But of course, that can't be included for the sake of consistency. Next up, what else can you get? Metamorph bosses, which drop an itemized sample, so that's the other part, sorry. All Metamorph monsters have rewards. Now, what does this mean? So generally, when you're going and you're building your Metamorph, you'll notice that there's a ton of like bars, and you can kind of pick and choose your rewards, and some of them have no rewards. When you're using Gilded Metamorph Scarabs, every single one of those little tokens will have a reward type on them, whether that's jewelry, breach, you know, catalyst, whatever. And this is kind of cool, so it lets you have a lot more selection to choose from. Now the problem with this is I was guessing that this would give you a ton more catalysts to choose from, and kind of like double or triple the amount of catalysts that you'd get in Rusted. Now this didn't end up being the case, but you still get a ton of value because you get more Scarabs to drop from them. You know, you get more like Beachheads, Breachstones, all that kind of stuff like that. So the problem with Gilded Metamorph and assessing it from a consistency point of view is that yes, you'll get a ton of catalysts. You won't get significantly more, you get a few more, but the real value is all hidden. It's in those Tain's lab samples, and it's also in the chance that you could get a one-off, you know, a one-off Beachhead or a one-off, you know, whatever, and a ton more currency at that. So while the Metamorph Scarab, the Gilded version, might not look too insane, it actually is a lot more insane. There's just no way to measure just how insane that is without doing like 10,000 of them or something like that. So yeah, pretty cool there. That's the Scarabs. Hopefully you guys kind of understand the difference between Rusted and Gilded. Let's get into the results. So here is my tab with all of the stuff we got here from that test. Now, how much can you buy each of these Scarabs for right now? So if you want to buy bulk Gilded Legion Scarabs right now, it looks like you can get 18 off this guy for under 6C. You can get 25 off this guy for 6C. You know, tons of them are pretty much, they're 6 Chaos if you want to buy like about 100 of them right now. So that's pretty good price. Let's go with that one, 6C. What about Gilded Metamorph? Let's check it out. So minimum 10. You know, okay, so it looks like these are around 2C. You know, you could easily buy probably about 100 of them for 2C. I would say, yeah, that's well over 100 at 2C. So I think it's fair to set these at 2C as well at the time of this video. So let's go in and we'll check out the results. So we'll quickly just crank this up to 2C. So right now, you will actually make money running Gilded Legion Scarabs off of the incubators and timeless splinters alone. Now that's actually superior to the Rusted variety. In the Rusted variety, we were actually losing money. That's actually not the case anymore because I believe the Rusted Scarabs have gone down in price, which is actually quite shocking. Let's actually check the price of these, how much we can get these for in bulk. Yeah, so right now, you can get bulk Rusted Legion Scarabs for 2C. Hundreds of them actually. So right now you make money running Rusted Legions. You make money running Gilded Legions. You make about half a Chaos running the Rusted version. How much do you make running Gilded? Well, you actually make 2 Chaos per Gilded Legion Scarab you clear successfully, excluding the additional bonus loot that you're going to get when you get the Sextant or when you get a free Pylon, which you're going to be getting. And then that's going to amp it up significantly to like a 4 or 6C profit in that map, I would guess. So completely insane indeed, and you're going to make a ton of currency just off of these Gilded Legion Scarabs. So where's the money coming from? Well, we got almost 5 full Mariketh emblems, which is completely insane. We got 5 and a bit Templar emblems, we got 9 Val emblems, and almost 12 Karui and Eternal emblems in 100 maps. That is significantly more than the Rusted counterpart here. Look at that. We got almost 5 times this amount of Mariketh. We got almost 5 times the amount of Templar, which is pretty interesting here. And we got like 3 times the amount of Val, you know, 3 times the amount of Karui and Eternal almost, which is very, very cool indeed. Now, that's pretty impressive. Let's talk about incubators. We got not as many. I'd say we got probably about double the amount of incubators in our Gilded test here, which is pretty interesting, but that makes sense, right? Because the only reason we're getting more incubators is from the Warhordes that we're guaranteed, which is the main reason where you get incubators from. So that definitely all makes sense. So yeah, Legion, absolutely crazy. You should definitely be running Gilded Legion if you can clear them and you're running an open layout and you don't mind looting all of the splinters, which is pretty cool. Very, very impressive there. Even with these tragically low prices, you're making a killing. Can you imagine if this is League Start prices? Let's just, I just want to take a look. How much money would we be making if it's League Start prices? So this was about 150. This was easily 100. This was about, I would say 50. Let's say these were about 40. Oh man, we won't even include the incubators in this test. So yeah, let's just say that the Gilded Legions were about 10 Chaos, because I think that's pretty fair at League Start. You'd be making 12 Chaos or 13 Chaos just from the Legion's rewards itself at League Start off of these Gilded Legion Scarabs. If I had known that, do you know what I would be doing? You better believe I would be doing that. And next League, Legion is going to be on the map device, which is my guess. So you better believe I'm going to be watching out for that on next League, which is completely insane. All right. let's talk about Metamorph. So if you compare my Metamorph results from Gilded to Rusted, you're going to notice that they're fairly similar in terms of how many catalysts I got. And you can see here the actual amount is very similar as well. So right now it's going to be pretty tough to lose with Metamorph. You're not going to pay much. How much are the Rusted ones? Let's quickly take a look. You can buy Rusted Metamorph right now for half a Chaos. Let's just say about 0.7 Chaos. You could probably buy 100. No, you can buy 180 for half a Chaos of this guy. They're half a Chaos. So you can get half a Chaos, and then you're gonna make like triple or quadruple your money back, maybe even more, just off of the catalyst rewards itself. If you get a map, you know, if you get an exalt, that's like 20 or 30x your money just off of that Rusted Legions, that Rusted Metamorph Scarab, and there's really no downside. As long as you can kill these things, you absolutely should be running them on every single map. It's completely insane how much value you get out of these just from the catalysts alone. So that's really, really insane. You could even go and just go for the gilded or polished ones, so you get more of the lab samples. You can go in and you can slay a bunch of things in there, and you're gonna get a lot more rewards from there as well. So what is the punchline? The punchline is that these Scarabs are completely insane, and they're very much well worth it to run. Even at the current prices, everything's really low. Don't worry, you're still gonna make a lot of money. You know, with the 25C exalts, this is definitely a very, very good way to make money, in my opinion. You know, you're making money on the Gilded Legion. That's a 1/10 of an exalt every single Gilded Legion you clear just from the rewards alone. So completely insane. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video and a bit of insight into the behind the scenes of how everything's gonna work. Yeah, pretty cool in my opinion. And I'll see you guys in the next one or on stream. Don't forget. And until then, cheers.